Capricorn, welcome to your reading for 2019 September. I, for some reason, was drawn to merge two decks together, the before tarot and after tarot, the variations of the Rider-Waite, the Death card, Scorpionic energy. Death card is transformations, changes. It's not, I mean, it can be physical death, but it's not, that's not what I'm feeling, you know. It would be supported by a lot of other cards, but this is transformations, it's changes, it's actively accepting what is new and taking advantage of what is new, you know, when we implement such changes. It can be an ending to a situation, but more so it's a beginning to something new in a lot of ways. When you clear energy out, more is to come. Here we have the Knight of Cups. So oftentimes this is an energy where we are expressing our feelings, sharing our emotions. It can be advancing towards wanting to go further on dating adventures with somebody, or dating somebody further, deeper, longer, harder. But here we have the female giving the male the cup, you know, so, which isn't bad. There's nothing wrong about that. You know, we need to get over the idea that women can't ask men out or women can't advance the relationship. But I do want to say, be careful about how we go about that. Sometimes we overgive. Sometimes that is the lesson that we need to experience in relationships. You know, sometimes people move away from us because they think, oh my God, they just didn't have any like self-control, or they just gave and gave and gave, and they just didn't, and they don't see it as a worthy or benevolent act. They see it as something to belittle and something lesser than, or you lose your value if you give and you care so much. I think that it's important to recognize where we do that in our lives, especially in regard to love relationships, and really see the truth in that, you know, really see where we're more so coming from a place of wanting to be liked or accepted or loved, you know, versus just giving what we give, you know, versus going overboard. This may be a situation where you need to recognize those feelings and recognize those types of behaviors and transform them by learning from what you've already experienced, you know, with a person. And again, nothing's wrong with women giving men, you know, advancements in love, but I do want to mention also our society and most cultures within the world have a male hierarchy, and they pay attention to that. And so sometimes if a woman is to, say, try to go on a date or ask a man on a date or suggest moving the relationship further, she can be seen in a multitude of ways. She can be seen as pushy, a bitch. She can be seen as a whore. She can be seen as somebody who is immediately written off, you know. And some men won't. Some men won't see her that way. Some men, you know, appreciate that, and it's an honest exchange, and they really don't have any issues with the gender, you know, quote unquote differences or anything of that nature. But most people do have issues with that, even if they're not outwardly saying something. So it's just food for thought. Show me more for Capricorn. You have the Ten of Cups. It's sideways. I feel it's reversed here. I do. I'm going to put it reversed. I'll read it both ways, but I feel it's reversed. The Ten of Cups in reverse, this can communicate an energy where we are letting go of something that we felt very dear and close and connected to. But I want to mention in this card as well, even in its upright position, this Ten of Cups is kind of dark. It's dreary. People are running for cover from the rain, the clouds, and the darkness is rolling in. Sometimes when we are in experiences with people, it may not be the right thing for us. It's like no matter how hard we try, no matter how much we give, no matter how much we pour into something, it's like the rain is always falling down on it. Now, for me, I love the rain. But I'm using it more as a connection word to sadness, and it's like your parade is getting rained on. Here it's having to let it go, but I don't know if that necessarily needs to be seen with such an eye of, or seen through the lens of sadness, sorrow, and despair. Maybe it's just letting you know that it was cleansing and washing away that situation, because it may not have been exactly right for you. You may have thought it was something that was really, really right for you, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't, you know. Upright, it's feeling prosperous, emotionally connected with the people, but still, even in this particular card, it's running for cover. There's an urgency here. And I think the urgency in regard to what I just said is mainly recognizing what isn't for us. Show me more for Capricorn. You have the Knight of Swords in reverse. The Knight of Swords in reverse is Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini energy. This Knight is somebody who can be very combative. They can be very harsh with their words, with their actions. They're incredibly blunt. Sometimes they fly off the cuff. Their verbal communication is it's not easy to deal with. It's not something that's comfortable, and it basically is an energy of fighting, or a very blustery person who's just kind of verbally difficult to deal with. They can jump to a lot of conclusions. They don't have all of the facts, but they just speak anyhow, Sometimes they speak from their ass and they create quote unquote facts from there, but it's not true. They're not real. It's an angry energy. It's a harsher energy. This may have been what you possibly experienced. It can also be somebody that just is emotionally disconnected, and so the way that they communicate with you is just emotionally disconnected. That's also hard to navigate through, especially if you're in a love relationship. It constantly feels like you have rain all over your parade. Show me more for Capricorn. So you have, coming out sideways, the Knight of Pentacles, and you have the Nine of Swords. These cards are essentially an energy where you may have been dealing with mental frustration in regard to this particular situation or person for a long time, and it's like, will it ever change? Am I supposed to change? How much more should I change for them to change? I think it's important for you to know that nobody changes for you, and nobody's going to change for you. You have to view your own behavior, your own actions, your own feelings through your own lens. And when you are in company of somebody who does not change, who demeans you, who treats you poorly, who doesn't communicate well with you, you also have to understand that maybe they're not going to change. Like, how long have you spent with them? How long have they been doing this? How long, what's the point of that? This energy, for them to be coming out sideways, is a long-standing energy here with the Knight of Pentacles sideways. This is something where this can take years, or you may have already spent years here of giving to this person. You could be giving to a Scorpio and getting kind of the fuzzy end of the lollipop, so to speak. And I think it's got you in your mind. I think this is something that really tugs at you, Capricorn, but overall what I'm feeling here is that the energy presented is something of, it's long-standing, and it doesn't feel like it changes much. And I think that you need to be aware of that, I think it's important for you to look within the situation, be honest about it to yourself, and figure out if that's something that you want to hold on to or deal with. There's also an energy here with the Death card and the Knight of Cups, especially with this woman giving the cup. It's calling out to, like, kind of like what I said in the beginning of this reading, but it's calling for us to really evaluate what we're giving to, really evaluate, like, am I giving to something that shouldn't be around still? I shouldn't be breathing life into this? Am I giving to somebody who just kind of assumes that I'm going to continue to do that? I feel an energy here where somebody may feel that, like they just kind of feel like you're there, and in a weird way, you're kind of there to serve them, or you're kind of there to be there for them, or just take up space with them for some reason. Like you're just there, you're a fixture. And it feels kind of weird, like how I'm seeing this, like it's through their lens, but I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like what I'm seeing. It's very subservient, like they are happy that they have tapped into like some aspect of your subservient energy. It's weird. I don't like it. Show me the Death card. Yep. I don't like it. And it fell on the Knight of Pentacles. I feel that this person is abusive, but in a lot of ways, they enjoy that. There's some enjoyment to that energy here. It's a mind game type of energy where they're okay with that because they're getting their needs met. They're getting their needs met. And the subservience here and the way that they can either speak down to you or disregard you also kind of, I don't know, makes them feel like powerful in the situation or better about themselves. It's a low energy. Show me the Knight of Cups. You have the Nine of Swords again. So I think it's time to consider what it is that you need to do, how you need to remove yourself from this, how you maybe overgive to this person. I'm feeling like an energy where we're overgiving. And that needs to stop. It needs to be broken down. Because I think you're starting to notice. And Capricorn, I do want to mention this too. I mean, these readings go either way, but if you find yourself doing this in certain aspects of your life with other people where you intentionally or not find yourself putting them in a subservient role where you benefit from the position of power or ableism or, I don't know, your intellect, and you secretly look down on somebody, or not so secretly look down on somebody, but still have them do things for you. And it's not a good look. It's not a good thing. It's not a good energy to maintain. I'm not saying that all of you are doing that, but some of you might be. We all do it. We're all bullies. All of us, each and every one of us, is a bully to somebody. We all have to puff up and flare our feathers and let everybody know that we are somebody special because we don't feel special, But then it gets twisted when we start adding like that air of arrogance and power. Like, it's literally a disempowered person trying to exert toxic power. Show me the Ten of Cups in reverse for Capricorn. And the Two of Wands here. This is finding a new balance. It's not even just finding a new balance, finding a new direction to go in, And it's funny too, because in this card, it's like she's handing him the energy again. She's handing him the world. I think it's time to walk away from that. I think if you have done enough for somebody and you're seriously like, some of you are going to be like kind of caught off guard. Like, I don't believe that they just don't care about me. Like, I care so much about them. I give to them so much. Why don't they care about me? Maybe if I give more. You don't need to give more, honey. You don't need to give more. This isn't a time to give more to anybody. Okay, this is a time to give to yourself. It's a time to turn this energy around and recognize where you're hurting. Recognize how this continues to let you hurt. And also recognize the type of person that would allow you to do that, who's not calling you out for that. That's important. If this person just allows you to do it, they're getting something out of it. It's disregard for you. Show me the Knight of Swords in reverse here for Capricorn, please. Knight of Swords in reverse for Capricorn. Strength in reverse. So this is somebody who has very, very short patience. It's somebody who is very verbally, I would say verbally abusive. Somebody who is very demeaning, causes a fair amount of detriment in your situation. Yet somebody here is still, or has still been giving and giving. And I think that this is, the two wands represent the past, the future, yes, they're directions, yes, they're options, but if we remain in the past, we don't give ourselves the opportunity for change. We don't give ourselves the opportunity to grow. We stagnate. We stay in a situation because we think it was for us, or we think it's, I can, through good times and bad. Well, sometimes it's just bad. Like if the bad times outweigh the good consistently, be mindful of that. I know a lot of people, especially Capricorns and Tauruses too, you guys are very traditional. Very traditionalistic, is that even a word? Traditional types of people who you want a certain thing, and that's fine, but it needs to be reciprocated, through the good and the bad. Like if it hasn't been good for a long time, be careful about that. You do have the right to segue from that. You do have the right to get a divorce. You do have the right to break up with somebody, it's important for you maybe to look at the energy that you have, that you hold in regard to your own value, your self-worth, what you deserve. First off, what you desire, what are these things? What are these things for you, and are they aligning with this person? Because it doesn't feel like, it feels like they're getting something, but it feels like you're getting minimal here. I'm going to turn these cards upright just for the sake of space. No, I'm not. That's what I feel. No, I'm not. Like, this doesn't feel like it's changing. All right, so show me the Knight of Pentacles with the 10, or the 9 of Wands. Show me the Knight of Pentacles with the 9 of Swords. Two of Pentacles. Queen of Wands sideways. And the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. So in this situation, what I'm feeling with the Knight of Pentacles sideways and the 9 of Swords sideways, you have the 2 of Pentacles here, which is a card of being out of balance. It's a card of not knowing which direction, not knowing which feelings to express, or what you can express at a particular time so somebody doesn't get triggered or fly off the handle. I don't know if this person is physically abusive to you, but verbally it seems that there's an energy where we lord over somebody. We're very, we exert our power or our masculinity, or just a very dark abusive energy. That's not something I would want to juggle. It's not something I would want to be in. It doesn't feel like an easy energy to be a part of. With the Queen of Wands sideways, coming out sideways, I feel that this is an energy where we are slowly beginning to mature into an understanding of what we want in our lives, what works for us, what makes us feel like we need to move forward, and embrace these intuitive directions, embrace these desires, embrace these feelings and things that we want to go do in life. And it's almost as if we're holding ourselves back here. We're holding ourselves back here. I know this reading isn't for everybody. I do, you know. But for whomever it is resonating with, I hope it's helpful. So let's go ahead and get some advice. Or show me the devil. It's your energy as well, Capricorn. Show me the devil for Capricorn. You have the Queen of Wands here. So this is, you have the Queen of Wands coming up here twice. You have the Nine of Swords coming up here twice. Strength is presented in this reading twice. I feel here that you may be very sexually bound to this person. This person may consider you sexually theirs, like you're subservient. You may be also connected to this situation through sex. Sometimes passion is a very, very intriguing and solidifying situation for people. It can cause people to do a lot of weird things, like stay in situations that are not healthy for them. But I think overall, you know, it feels like this is an energy that you need to trust your intuition with. Get out of this out of balance energy and start to move away from this. This Queen of Wands is abundant in courage. She's courageous. She trusts herself. She moves forward in life where some people dare not tread. Like, she's very much involved in the living. And I feel here we need to involve ourselves in the living. We need to open the doors here, let the light in, and allow our heart to feel more for ourselves. Show me the Knight. Show me the Knight of Cups. For the Knight of Cups, you have the Devil. So this person you're dealing with could be another Capricorn, but this person is very much entrenched within their own situation. They're entrenched within the energy that they hold. It's very toxic, and it feels like you have a toxic bond here. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Tower. I feel like the Tower may have been... No, it didn't come out. Maybe that was a different reading. The Tower is here, though, at the bottom of the deck. And I think this is more so indicative of you realizing what makes sense for you and taking back your power. This is about taking your power back. And even if it's somebody who's not verbally abusive, it could just be somebody who just doesn't care the way that you need them to care. But again, that comes from need. It's like you need them to be a certain way for you. When we're healthy, when we're ready for relationships, we don't need people to be anything for us. You know, respect me, but I don't need you to be anything for me. Like, you know, if it's a good fit and it's a match, then it will all play together well. Show me the Death card. Show me the Death card. The King of Cups over here, I feel like we're dealing with a Scorpio. Some of you may not, but here at the bottom of the deck, you have the Emperor. I believe he's here again. So you have a lot of water energy. You have Scorpio here showing up multiple times. You have the Emperor here. What's underneath the Emperor? The Five of Swords. So again, this energy where we are manipulative, where we're dealing with somebody who's very headstrong, they're emotionally kind of avoidant, devoid. It's somebody who can be very domineering and just really not open to anything that doesn't fit their agenda, you know? So whether or not that is verbal abuse, whether that's just actual physical neglect, sexual neglect, physical harm, like these are a lot of things that can happen with these energies when we're dealing with people who are basically focused from their lower level energy. The King of Cups often indicates somebody who loves you, who wants to date you, who wants to, well, not even date you, who wants to be your partner and all this stuff. But I don't, it's interesting. The only thing that's really coming through for me is Scorpio here, but also this particular card in this deck. I know people are going to probably hate this analogy, but this is just basically a hollow man. There's no features here. There's no eyes, there's no lips, there's no feeling here. It's just like a silhouette. It's like a hollow man. And some of you may be dealing with somebody like that. Some of you may be dealing with somebody who literally feels like they're dead inside. And perhaps this situation is starting to make you feel dead inside. But it's not something that can be, I think, held on to if you truly value yourself. Because what we're seeing here with this Queen of Wands here twice is the need to value ourselves, is the need to feel empowered on our own by ourselves due to life and what we experience within it, and how we basically have to look within our situations and say, oh shit, that does not work. What do we do when things don't work? Oftentimes we fix them, but sometimes we just have to, get a new thing or let go of a thing because it doesn't work. Show me the Nine of Swords. The Magician. Okay. So in regard to this, I think that this is this turning point, Capricorn, where I think we've been in our mind enough about somebody and their behavior. We can't change anybody. We can be patient, we can be kind, we can be loving, and sometimes we can wait for far too long. But if somebody continually shows us that they're not willing to change, or that this is just how they are, maybe it's time to utilize all of that information and start to change things on your own. And sometimes when we remove ourselves from people like this, we change things for the best. Show me the Knight of Swords in reverse. Show me the Knight of Swords in reverse for Capricorn. Show me the Knight of Swords in reverse for Capricorn. The Lovers. This is a head or heart decision in regard to this person. Some of you may have been around for a long time with this person. The Emperor at the bottom of the deck. Some of you may have been a long time in connection with this person, but the Lovers communicates a head over heart decision. It creates, it basically shows us where we need to make clear-cut decisions in regard to the person that we're with, the situation that we're with, logic versus heart, a lot of that kind of stuff. It can also talk about a very loving relationship between people, but again, I don't necessarily feel this with this person. Give me one more for the Lovers. You have Temperance and the Moon with Judgment at the bottom of the deck. So 4 major arcana here: the Lovers, Temperance, the Moon, Judgment. These are all gigantic life lessons that we need to learn. Here, the Temperance card essentially is a card where it communicates the need for balance. And in this situation, I don't feel like we have much balance. It's like we're juggling. All the balls are up in the air, We're on a seesaw all the time. It's like seesaw, back and forth, up and down. With this person, you may have love for this person, and they may love you, but they may just be very terrible in the way that they treat you. It's talking about, like, with all of these major arcanas here, these are life lessons, these are huge ones, and it's talking about, what are you learning from this? Do you feel like you're being juggled? Do you feel like you're being treated well? Do you feel like you're constantly being put up in the air? Are you feeling off kilter with this person? You may have a fair amount of love for this person. Again, that weird till death do us part, like through the good times and the bad, keeps coming up. Like, I will endure, but why? Like, why would you endure that? That doesn't show strength and undenying love, or completely devoted love, and what's that stuff called? Unconditional love. It doesn't show that. It shows a lack of self-respect, a lack of self-awareness. Why would you put yourself through a situation like that? With the moon, you have an energy where we have secrets, we have deception, we have chaos, we have not being able to trust our own emotions. And I think that that's kind of where this really lies right here. Needing to trust our own emotions, needing to balance out those energies, with that lover's energy, needing to put ourselves above another. That shows self-love. It's also an energy of the lover's card. Also, in the lover's card, in most Rider-Waite decks, you have the Angel of Judgment, Angel Gabriel behind you. And then here in Temperance as well, you have that angel again. So it's kind of like a reiteration of like this judgment, using your best judgment in this situation here. The bottom of the deck, judgment here for all of this. This is about to change. It's going to change. If you notice too, most of these cards, aside from this King of Cups, these are all major arcana cards. Magician, Devil, Moon, Temperance, Lovers, Judgment. All of these are huge lessons in this relationship. And I think it's important here with this Devil energy, and this woman giving this cup to this knight, well, he's above her. He's above her. It's not an equal thing. I know he's on a horse. Maybe he's on his high horse. But what I'm feeling here is with the Devil card, this is an energy of codependent connections, toxic codependent behavior. I feel that this reading is very much about that. And I think it's important that we exercise our lessons within the experience, and really, really make some changes, Show me the Queen of Wands. Princess of Pentacles. With the Knight of Cups. Oh man, it's like she's giving to this Knight of Cups again. Some of you are having a very difficult time letting this go. Some of you are having a very difficult time because you think that, if you do all the work, it'll be okay. But I want you to know that that is not a relationship of reciprocal efforts. Some of you may also need to, if you do bring yourself out of this, some of you may need to put your energy towards new things, studying, school, figuring out what snaps your bean, what invigorates you, what makes you feel enlivened with curiosity and passion for learning new things. What are these topics? Is it archaeology? Are you learning how to make marshmallows and perfect like culinary, gastronomy? Like what are your delights? What feeds your soul? These are the things that we need to pay attention to here and start to go after them. Learn about them. Show me the Emperor. You have the Queen of Wands for the Emperor. You have the Queen of Wands coming in this reading 3 times, Capricorn. Honestly, what I feel here is that somebody's like, with the Devil here and the Devil here, I feel like somebody is like indentured. I'm not one to like throw around this term or this potential or whatever, but oh, they're using black magic. I see so many tarot readers do that. But you know what? As somebody who is a witch, as somebody who has done my fair share of ridiculous things and control magic and stuff of that nature, I I know that there are people out there like that. I know that they do that willingly and freely and frequently, and people do that, so, and some of you may also do that with this person. That's not all of you. And, sometimes a person is so negatively powerful that they just kind of manifest that shit on their own without even actively, doing any type of ritualistic work. Some of us are so entrenched in our own darkness that we tap into darkness very well. And it's something that can be very trying, very stagnating, very problematic in the long run for what we do in life and how we treat others and, go along in our existence here. Show me the Knight of Pentacles sideways. So you have the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. So Three of Pentacles, Six of Swords coming out sideways. Basically, this is energies where we need to get the fuck out of Dodge. We're waiting around for somebody to be, sharing equal exchange with us, but it's not happening. This is the energy of this person. You're not going to get equal exchange here with this person. You're not going to get fair equality, and you're going to be hanging around for it forever. It's not fair. It's not fair. Okay, so let me get some advice here for this reading. Please show me advice here for Capricorn, whomever this is resonating with. Show me advice for whomever this is resonating with. You have the Ace of Pentacles. Un mas. Give me 3. Thank you. So you have the Ace of Pentacles. You have the Hierophant. 5 of Swords. And you have the Page of Earth again. With the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So what I'm noticing here, Capricorn, is there's a need to, somebody's honoring a bond, somebody's honoring it till death do us part, somebody's not budging from like social standing, religious tradition. There's something about tradition here that is holding all of this in. And I think it's important to be very mindful of how you apply that. Look at the situation, study it for what it is, accept it for what it isn't, and stop giving to it. Or, somebody here is just going to give to this. They're going to give and give and give to this until it drains them. Okay. Show me for Capricorn, please. So you have pitcher plant. Pitcher plant, deceit, illusion. The carnivorous pitcher plant gives off a scent that is enticing to insects. However, it's a trap. Once an insect has fallen inside the plant's chamber, it is eaten alive with the plant's digestive juices. Beware of temptations, for things may not be as great as they appear. Kind of everything that we've talked about here, and I think it's a point now to remove yourself from it. And some of you, I know religion is going to be holding you to this person, and I want you to challenge the beliefs that you were raised with. I want you to challenge the traditions that have held you to something like this, and know that those traditions were written by people, often geared towards erring on the side of fear so that they could control situations and people and their actions. Religion is very much based on fear and control. There are wonderful, beautiful, spiritual, positive aspects to religion. It's not all bad, even though I'm not religious, but be conscious of that and challenge it. Make sure that you're not falling into an unending problem for yourself or for whomever this is for. And recognize toxicity where it is and challenge yourself to move away from it. Okay? I hope this reading was helpful for you, Capricorn. I will see you soon. If it was, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you choose to donate, there's a link in the description box below. And I will be back in a few weeks. Yeah, I hope whoever this is for can let it go, because it feels like we have a very stubborn partner here, and in a way their partner is equally as stubborn because they're willing to stay in this type of treatment and mistreatment. So all right, Capricorn, take care. Bye-bye.